said, in our today's class, we would be going with the specific order costing method. Okay, in that, job order costing is the title which we are going to discuss today. So as I have put 3 points, that those are the general features of job order costing. One is it comes under specific order costing. Two, yesterday I told the example of stitching a shirt. Likewise, here work is undertaken as an identifiable unit. You will assign a particular work and the cost is computed based on that assignment. It's not a general rate, but depending on the type of job, we will fix the price for it. So the factor deciding upon the price would be the cost of that cost of rendering or that particular job. And here the manufacturing, okay, the production happens as per the requirement. Simple example is you will design a product. Maybe you want a wardrobe. You want a wardrobe for your home. So what you will do is you will send them with a design, or you will share a design with them and ask them, okay, there are different varieties of timber. Maybe you want it in mahogany or teak, or as per your requirement. And then you will ask the particular person or the manufacturer to quote a price for that job. That is manufacturing a wardrobe. So that's why we say that specific requirements would be there and cost computation is based on that specific requirement. So that's how it happens in case of a job order costing. Each job is taken separately for the ascertainment of cost. So that's the basic nature which you have to understand. Now we will go little detail into that. So the process involved in job costing method, job order costing method, because you have a specification with respect to an order. First step in that would be receiving. From a manufacturer's point of view, it would be receiving the inquiry about manufacturing a product. Say in the example which I shared with you just now, you would be, suppose if you are the customer, you would be approaching the manufacturer and inquiring him about the rates applicable to wardrobe, okay, and how is it different for different types of timber. The kind of wood which you use. If you are going with wood, you will ask, okay, if this is teak, what is the cost? If this is made from mahogany, what is the cost? Likewise, based on the difference in the timber material, the cost may vary, right? So that is why you will inquire how much does it cost. And from a customer perspective, he will be asking this with 2 or 3 manufacturers just to find out which one is best for him in quality as well as in price. So that is the first step in the job order costing. Once the inquiry being received by the manufacturer, depending on the specifications made by the customer, this manufacturer will estimate a price for the product. Say for example, if you say that I want 3-door wardrobe with 3 doors, right? 3 doors. So in that case, he would be estimating the total cost for manufacturing a wardrobe with 3 doors, triple door. Okay, and then he will look into what is the rate of profit he would require for that. And finally, he will give an estimation for the price. He says, as of now, this is it. I can give you a wardrobe with 3 doors for a cost of for a price of 38,000 rupees. Just an example. So if he is saying that it costs 38,000 rupees, and if that is okay with you, what would be the next step? It is you will place an order. That's why we say that in that process, the third stage would be receiving the order for manufacturing that product. It's a simple thing that happens in our everyday life. And then the production starts with, and once the production starts with, we know that how costs are being recorded. Costs would be recorded on the basis of material cost, labor cost, maybe other direct and indirect expenses. The indirect expenses as we call as overhead. So that's how the recording of costs happens. And once the job is completed, initially itself, we might say there can be a variation between this 38,000. It can be a little higher than 38,000, or little lesser than 38,000 depending upon the manner and also the requirement of material that he might have taken a buffer at the beginning itself. So that's why finally on completion of job, the manufacturer will estimate the cost for the job and then he will charge a profit accordingly. Right? So that is the actual procedure in a job order cost system. It Here what you have to understand here is you really have a product specifications, and that product specification is placed with the manufacturer and the production happens as per the job requirement. That's how it happens in case of job order costing system. Now why do we discuss this? We need to learn how recording of cost happens in a job order costing system. That's why we are discussing all these. We need to know how the material cost, how the labor cost, or how the overhead are been expenses being recorded to finally arrive at the total cost or and also the profit and loss of that particular job, profit or loss of that particular job. So that's why we are discussing all that. Now, what you have to understand here is there is no difference in the recording uh, of cost with respect to job order costing. The only difference what you will find here is each job is taken separately and you will start recording the cost separately for each job. The procedure is same. You will prepare a cost sheet. You will start accounting for your material cost, then for your wages, labor cost, then for your overhead. Together you will come up with a cost sheet. But the difference here is because you have to give the pricing separately for each job, the recording of cost also happens separately for each job. Say for example, you will in the current example which we were discussing, we said that the customer wants to manufacture a wardrobe, right? So we will call the cost of manufacturing a 3-door wardrobe. Then we will record the material requirement, the labor hours and the cost of it, the overhead expenses, and also other expenses which are connected with the manufacturing of that wardrobe. Right? So this is the only difference which you have to remember when we talk about job costing. The method, the procedures remain same as we learned when we were preparing the cost sheet. That is, our direct material, direct labor, direct expenses will give us prime cost. Then we add other expenses, right? And we compute finally the cost of production. And with that, we compare the profit or loss. We compute the total sales revenue, or as we say, the price we cost for the product. Right? That's how it is happening. Now let's look at one example which I've shown here in the question. Okay. In the question, you can see that you are going to compute the cost in accord, cost for the job number 707. Here they have not specified what is the textual context. It is actually a question which you are doing in a hypothetical way. So here in job costing, what you have to be very careful is you are trying to compute the cost for this particular job, that is job number 707. In this factory, they assign different numbers for the different jobs or different orders which they have received from the customers, maybe in a chronological order, right? For the next order, they might put the number as 708. And then in the remarks column, they give a description. So here we are going to compute. The question asked here is, calculate the cost of job number 707 and price for the job to give a profit of 25% on the selling price. So this is the context. We are given with the material cost, the labor expenses, the overhead charges, all in the question. And we are asked to compute the cost for this job, that is job number 707. So we know that if we really have to compute the price, we have to know the percentage of profit that's given in the question. But only difference here is the percentage of profit is given in the selling price as a percentage on selling price. So we need to compute what is it percentage on cost, which we are yet to come. When we are discussing, I will show that also. right? So this is the context in which we are going to compute our cost for job number 707. Now let's see how do we do that. See here, this is the cost sheet. You have learned preparation of a cost sheet maybe 2-3 weeks back. So you know it, it is very fresh in your mind. As we know, the cost sheet here in this, looking into this question, we do not have much details. We have only material cost, labor expenses, and also overhead. Both fixed and also variable overhead as shown in the question. So we don't have all subdivisions for our cost sheet. We only have prime cost and other administration expenses which will be incurred by us before we arrive at the final profit or loss and then to price. Okay. So first, as we normally do, what we will do, we will put direct material cost. Okay, you can have an inner column and an external column. Here you do not have a calculation with respect to direct materials because it's already given in the question here. Direct material cost is 4,010. So what we do, we will put this amount 4,010 in our cost sheet in the external column. Okay, so that's material cost. Now, with respect to wages, they've already said that there are 3 departments. Now, what we have to remember is 3 departments who are engaged in the production of job number 707. So, finally, we need to compute total cost for this job number 707. So, we put all departments together in the same cost sheet. We are not going to separate that. If you separate also, finally, we have to go with the totaling of that. So that's why we are putting all workings in the inner column and the total amount to the external column to get the total job cost for 707. Okay. So the next thing what we would be considering is wages. As given in the question, it said 60 hours. Department A worked for 60 hours and it is having a rate 3 per hour. So naturally, the total cost incurred for Department A with respect to labor expenses would be 60 into 3. Same as the case for B, it would be 40 into 2. C also, it would be 20 into 5 because they work for 20 hours and the rate per hour is 5. So we will get the total labor expenses which are connected with job number 707, right? So what did we do? We have put that wages expenses. Department A, it is 60 into 3. Department B, it is 40 into 2. Department C, it is 20 into 5. The total we have taken to the external column, 360. Now, we do not have, when you look into the question, we understand that there is no cost which is respect to direct expenses because they have given variable overhead and fixed overhead. Right. So what we will do, we will compute the prime cost. As we know, prime cost is the total of direct material, direct labor, and also direct expenses. So we go with the prime cost computation, which as we normally do, is the total of all these figures. So we total it up and we got the prime cost as 4,370. Now, as we know, we are going to add the indirect expenses, that is overhead expenses, which are given in the question. One part is sure for us, fixed overhead. We need to go with computation of the variable overhead. Now, looking into the question, you can understand that variable overhead rate is given like this. That is 5,000 for 5,000 hours. Rupees 5,000 for 5,000 hours. And we know that job number 707 has not operated for 5,000 hours. They have gone with 60 hours, right, with respect to department A. So what we will do, we'll compute the per hour. Listen to me very carefully. We'll compute the per hour rate for department A with respect to variable overhead. And per hour rate computation is very easy because it's just total divided by number of hours. So it would be 5,000 divided by 5,000. Per hour rate would be 1. So we know that department A has worked for 60 hours, right? So 60 into 1. 60 into 1 would be in case of department A. The same working will be done for department B. Here we know that per hour rate would be 2. Why? Because they have given total rate as 3,000 and hours was, for our computation, it is 1,500. So 3,000 by 1,500. So 2 would be the rate. That's why we have done 40 into 2. Now, how did we get 40? 40 is nothing but the total hours no being worked by department B for this particular job, that is 707. Same thing we will do for C. That's why we have done with 20 into 4 because 2000 by 500. So it is 4 per hour. So naturally 20 hours a hour. So 20 into 4. The total of that would be taken to the external column, that is 60 plus 80 plus 80, which you get this, which is taken to the external column. Now the last expense which is being given here is fixed expenses. And they've said that fixed expenses estimated at 20,000 for 10,000 working hours. So naturally, we know that total hours worked by these different departments for job number 7 is 60 plus 40 plus 20, which is 120. Total hours worked by the department would be 120. So naturally, the rate, as we know, we have computed 20,000 by 10. So that's why we will do 120 at the rate of 2 per hour. Right? 120 hours is nothing but the total of 60 plus 40 plus 20. Right? And the rate we get by dividing 20,000 by 10,000. So it would be 120 hours at the rate of 2 per hour. We get 240. So that's the total. Right? Now we have estimated all the costs associated with job number 707 as per the question in our hand. That is, we went with computation of material cost, we went with computation of labor cost, we also went with computation of direct and indirect overhead expenses. We have the total cost with us, right? So what we need to do is we have to find out the total cost connected with manufacturing, which is with respect to job number 707. Okay, so cost of job is nothing but the total of all of these expenses. 4,370, the cost involved in variable overhead, the cost involved in fixed overhead. The total of what we get is 4,830. Yes, the main part is over. Right now, in order to find out the selling price, we need to add our profit percentage. Right. Simply, if we add the profit, suppose if it is being given in the question that our profit percentage is 10% of total cost, it's very simple for us. We just have to add 483 along with the cost. But in this particular question, what we have to take care of it is here the profit percentage is given as a percentage of selling price. It is given as a percentage. If it was on cost, it was very simple for us. But here it is given as a percentage of selling price. So we need to find out what would be the percentage on cost, because we do not know what is the selling price. We already know what is the cost. Right. So we will have to go with computation of percentage. What is it when we consider it from the angle of cost? I have just worked out for you to understand. Some of you might be knowing that there are different methods for finding out what is the percentage of profit on cost when it is given as a percentage in selling price in your question. I've just worked out in one method which you can just see whether you understand it. Say, look here, we know this formula: profit by selling price. SP is selling price into 100 is 25%. That's already given in the question. Right? Profit by selling price into 100 is 25%, which is given in our question. See, price for the job is to give a profit of 25% on selling price. So when we compute 25% on selling price, it's very easy for us. But unfortunately, in this question, we have computed only the cost factor. Now we need to find out what would be this percentage when it is computed on cost. Right? So that's what we are doing here through this formula. This is the written formula which as per the question statement. Now we know that selling price is nothing but our cost plus profit. Right? So selling price includes cost. We have just expanded the denominator. Numerator remains same. Profit by cost price plus profit will give us the selling price. So that's why we've expanded this part, the denominator part, and we have expressed this as 1/4, 25% of 1/4. It's just mathematics. And then what we have done here is to solve it, we multiplied 4 with the numerator and 1 with the denominator, cross multiplication. Accordingly, we get an answer like this. That is 4 into profit. So 4 profit is equal to CP plus profit, because 1 into selling price plus profit, which gives us CP plus profit. And this formula again is written in this way, where we are trying to, now you have two common things, profit, profit, 4 profit and 1 profit here. So what did we do? In order to find out what is its percentage on cost price, we are trying to express profit in terms of cost price. As simple as that. We are trying to express profit in terms of cost price, because that is the only data which we have now with us, right? So what we will do, CP is equal to 3 profit. Now how did I get this? 4 profit minus 1 profit. So CP, I've taken this side, this profit to this side, left side. So 4P minus profit, which gives me this. CP is equal to, that is cost price is equal to 3 profit. Right. Now in our question, they've asked, the question is profit by CP into 100. What is the percentage? That's the question which we need to answer. We need to find out what is the percentage of profit when you're computing on the basis of cost price. Right. So what did we do? We will try to explain express the CP in terms of profit. So how do we do? Profit by 3P. Profit by 3P, because we got the formula like this. CP is equal to 3 profit. So we substituted this CP by this. That is 3 profit. So profit by 3 profit into 100 gives us 100 by 3, that is 33.33%. Which means what is it? We are trying to understand what is the percentage of profit on cost price. So we will get that as 33.33. We are solving it. This get cancelled. Profit and profit get cancelled. So it will be 100 by 3, that is 33.33%. This is how we compute. There are n number of ways. I have just shown you one simple way. You might be knowing other ways for computing the same. Right. So when we are given with the percentage on selling price, profit percentage on selling price, and when we have only the cost price with us, this can be one method to find out what is this percentage on our selling price and our cost price. So that is what we have done through this formula, right? So once we know that it is 33.33% on our cost price, it is very simple for us. What did we do? Profit 33 and 1 by 3. 33.33 is nothing but 33.1/3% on cost, or 25% on selling price. That is already given in the question. That's why we did it in this way, right? So 33%, 33 and 1/3% of 4,830 will be taken as a profit. It will be added with the cost of the job to come with the selling price. Okay, so 4,830 plus 33 and 1/3% of this. That's our profit. This is a formula which we know it, right? So when we add with that, we will get the selling price, that is 6,430. This is all about finding out the total cost and profit, and also the selling price for job number 707. So before I conclude, I'll just explain one more time quickly so that you can have a recap. If at all you lost somewhere, just listen to me now for the last time. So here in this question, we are given with total cost associated with job number 707, and we are asked to compute the price, the selling price of job number 707, keeping 25% as 25% on selling price. Okay, 25% on selling price as your profit. Right. So initially, what did we do? What did we do? We accounted for all the expenses that are given as per the question. That is, we gave what is the cost associated with direct materials, wages, overhead, both direct and indirect. Then we reached total cost. And now in this question, normally we compute profit as a percentage of cost. But in this question, they gave the profit percentage as a percentage of selling price. But what we have is total cost results. Now we have to find out what will be the percentage of profit when it is computed on cost. So we had to go with one formula. In this example, I've shown you one method for finding out that. Just put that in the formula state, that is profit by selling price into 100, which is 25%. That is given in our question, right? The same thing we try to express in the form of cost plus, that is cost price plus profit, the same formula which it is 1/4, right? And then we try to solve that equation through this method. That's what we did. And the answer we got is it is 33.3% on the selling price, I mean on the cost price. That's why what we did is profit, which is added to the cost of the job to find out the selling price. And that profit would be 33 and 1/3% on the cost, which is given as 25% on selling price. Both are same. Both are same. But the problem here is we did not know what is the selling price. We had known only what is cost price. So we had to find the percentage on cost price. That's why we went with computation of 33 and 1/3. And then the answer which we get is the profit that needs to be added with the cost to find out the total selling price. So that would be 4,830 plus 1,610, which gives us a selling price of 6,440. So that's it, which we did in our class, right? So just check whether you understood. If you have any doubt, you can ask now. Another thing is, it is not mandatory that you have to go with computation of